Hi everyone, I'm Ann.
I'm Brian.
This is early for us at noon on a Wednesday, our time here in Baltimore. So we're gonna start this class up, see how it does, and do our sort of morning, get the body moving stuff. So what do you think that's gonna be? Shaking. Shaking with abandon, because why not? We got up, not too late this morning, but no matter what time you wake up in the morning, the body might still want to keep sleeping, and that is where shaking really helps. So it can be a wide-legged shake where you're kind of just knocking everything into the ground like this, with the shake really coming from the hips and not the shoulders, or it can be a jumping in place kind of thing. If you really feel like you've got to get yourself off the ground, and this is an early in the day kind of thing, or maybe it's a late in the day kind of thing for you, and you got to shake out the extras from the day. So today we're going to do a little bit of charana. That's the rotational movements to lubricate the joints. There are 27 in total. Maybe we'll get through them. Maybe we'll just pick and choose. Depends on how our bodies are feeling. And then after that, a little bit of stretching to support our day. Front loading it. So if you're shaking, which is one of the charana movements, you can allow that shaking to evolve to twisting. Just gentle twisting, maybe letting one hand knock against the opposite shoulder as you go from side to side. Keeping it loose in the legs, loosen the knees, loosen the ankles, loosen the feet, and of course, loosen the upper body. So we'll just go back and forth.
So eventually we're going to stop shaking and just come to twisting. You can keep it gentle, just twisting side to side, let the arms flop. Maybe they're slapping you on the back, on the low back. If you want to bring a little bit more momentum into it, you can. You might find the arms traveling further up the body. So now we're going to add in a breathing exercise. We're going to take the elbows out, back, take the palms out flat like we're skimming water at chest height. We're going to inhale as we twist to the right and exhale with a shh as we twist to the left. Shh, 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 shh. Continuing that breathing, let's turn the forearms up, making goalpost arms, palms face your head.
Make sure to keep your shoulders rolling down your back here. It's very easy to kind of hunch the shoulders, but you want to keep the spine suspended so you're not needlessly wearing against any of the cartilage in between the vertebrae. A nice long spine as you do this.
Continuing that breathing, let's take the arms out and down about waist height. And then we're just going to slowly unwind it, just let it sort of come back to center. And you can shake it out again.
Why not? And then from here, let's have the feet about mat width distance, or maybe even a little wider. We'll do some gentle hip rolls here. Hands can come to the hips if you like. We're just drawing little circles on the ground with our tailbone. I'll show it from the side. Hips are coming forward and back. Nothing too dramatic. You don't want to scrape anything, but just more of a gentle sloshing of a bowl of water in your hips. Very nice. And when you're ready, we'll switch directions, going the other way. See how much your core is involved in this movement. Yes, it feels like it's a movement that all comes from the muscles of the hips, but you can allow it to come from the core as as you sort of expand the abdomen and contract the abdomen. It expands as the hips go back, it contracts as the hips come forward. Let's bring the feet a little closer together, and I'll demonstrate that a little bit better but differently. So stick the tail out and then tuck the tail. Stick the tail out, tuck the tail. Stick the tail out, tuck the tail, tail goes out, tuck the tail. So this also is coming from the hips and the low back. But really, you can make this a movement that's coming just from the core, lengthening the rectus abdominis, this part of the belly, and then contracting it, lengthening, contracting, lengthening, contracting. Yep, you get the idea. Very nice. And then we can add a little circular movement to that. The hips go back and then come forward to the side, back to the side, forward to the side. So it's a much smaller hip rotation. As you can see, it's really about the core here. It's about the abdominal muscles lengthening and contracting, lengthening and contracting. A few more in this direction. And to some degree, it's about one knee bending and then the other. And then when you're ready, we'll switch directions, going the other way. Gently rolling out the hips here. If you have hip surgery, this is probably going to be a lot easier to do this one than the wide-legged hip rolls. So loosen your hips. If any of this hurts, make the circle smaller, or just keep it to tail back, forward, back, forward. Then from here, figure eights. So this one, I'm going to come a little closer so you can see exactly what my hips are doing. I'll show from the front and from the side. I'm going to bring one hip forward and then back. And the other hip is forward, and then take it back. I'll take this hip back and this hip back. And I'm using my knees here to help bring my hips back. So figure eighting side to side. Show from the side. That's what that looks like. And this, for some people, is a very easy motion. For some people, it doesn't really make any sense. But if it is easy for you, and even if it doesn't make sense for you, try doing a backstroke as you take each hip back. So my right hip comes back, my right arm comes back, my left hip comes back, my left arm comes back. And we just kind of go back and forth like that. Now we're allowing for motion of the spine to lubricate the spine, keeping it supple, flexible, not too rigid. Yes, we like a nice long suspended spine in a lot of yoga practices, but rigidity is the downfall of many a very tall tree. So keep yourself flexible like the reed in the green. And then when you're ready, we'll just shake it off. That movement makes me a little bit dizzy, so anytime I get kind of up in my head, I just like to ground down again by shaking it off. Then from here, we're going to switch directions. So this might not make a lot of sense either, so I'll show from the back. I'm going to take one hip around from the back, and then the other hip around from the back, like this. So it's the same thing, just kind of going the other way. What you got? Show from the side, show from the front. And this might make a lot more sense if you add the arm. So as my right hip comes forward, my right arm comes forward, left hip comes forward, left arm comes forward. We'll do that for a little bit. Swimming forward. Front stroke. So really allowing the spine this sort of S-curve motion, allowing it to snake side to side. And then when you're ready, we'll just shake it off. What do you think? We never do arm stuff. Let's do some arm stuff.
I love arm stuff. So this is gonna These exercises are designed to wake up the whole arm, starting from the bottom all the way up. So
The
let's
wrist to the
wrist
shoulders.
to the shoulders. So just finding a nice, comfortable standing posture. We're going to tuck the thumbs into the palms, curl the four fingers around. Let the arms be long, and you're just going to rotate just at the wrists. You should feel by squeezing the thumb into the palms that you're really getting a lot of extra, juice, extra stretch right there in those forearms.
I mean,
Now
you can
keep-
even see it, like these muscles are all rubbing against each other as I do this.
Now, keeping the shoulders relaxed down, we're going to continue this rotation as we take the arms out to the side and up overhead. Keep the shoulders down. No creeping shoulders, open hearts, open chests. When you get to the top, let's take it, keep that rotation going with the wrists. We'll take it down, the arms down along the front of the body.
Squeezing the thumbs allows for this sort of isometric massage of the forearms.
Now switch the direction that you were rotating those wrists. And now we're going to take the arms up the body again, and then out and down to the side. Keep those shoulders relaxing, shoulders open. Wow. And then when you get to the bottom, you can just open up the hands, flap them out, flap out your arms.
Wow,
Loosen
how much
up
my
all
arm
that
looks like
stuff.
a noodle. See that? Little pink noodle right there.
Yeah. And then we're gonna now get some motion further up the arms. So again, tucking the thumbs into the palms, curling the four fingers around. We're gonna take the arms out into a T, keeping the shoulders relaxed. We're gonna rotate just from the forearms. Looks kind of like windmills, like this. We want to try to have these windmill, airplane propeller arms, whatever you call them. Imagine it's just facing straight forward. So kind of looks like this, trying to keep the lower arm, the upper arm, the lower arm kind of straight as much as you can.
And the upper arm sort of parallel to the ground as best you can. If it hurts to raise your arms this high, you can do it lower like that. But
Switch
ideally,
direction.
you want high up. But one thing I might show too, how am I going to show this? There's a subtlety to this. So the elbows are not ball and socket joints. So it's actually my shoulder here that's rolling as I do this movement.
Your arms are getting tired. Take it out. Shake them off. You need to do it in all the directions. All right, cool.
We're letting y'all.
And we've already done the shoulders, right? Because we did this.
How about this one?
But we're going to do one more thing for the entire
Oh,
arm.
friend.
And this is also a strengthening as well as a stretching exercise.
Shut this
We're going to
side.
take the arms out into a T. Relax the shoulders down. None of this kind of stuff. This kind of stuff. Reaching as far out as you can with the fingertips. We're going to make small circles with the arms. Keep those shoulders relaxing down. And then if you feel like it, you can start to make long, wider circles, bigger circles. And then we're going to switch the direction, but start small at first, reach through the fingertips, shoulders relaxed. And then if you feel like it,
Woo!
open it wider and wider. Now let's take a break for a second. Let's take the arms down and just shake them out.
We haven't done that
We're
in a
not
minute.
quite done with that yet. So we're gonna do that same exact exercise as the second round, but this time palms face up. Palms up, arms long, reach through the fingertips, shoulders down, small circles. If you want to make them bigger and bigger, go for it.
You can spiral them out to bigger circles, maybe
Or you
even
can keep going
crossing.
small, doesn't matter. And then we're gonna switch the direction, but if you're going big, start small at first, reach long through the fingertips, shoulders relaxed, and then make it bigger and wider if you like. Wow, that is really waking up our arms now. Relax the arms, shake them out. We're gonna shake them very vigorously as if they're hanging from the shoulder. What we're gonna do is you just take your palm and just flip it one way, flip it the other way. So just relaxing, releasing the arm, do the other arm as well. You could do them both at the same time, or you could do one at a time. Either way, doesn't matter. We're just relaxing, loosening the arm, releasing all the stuff we built up with all those exercises.
Yeah, that was real. Let's do
Now we're gonna
another
have
thing for the shoulder.
strong Popeye arms.
All right, another thing for the shoulder is a sort of seesaw motion for the shoulder girdle. And, you know, just doing it real basically, this is what it looks like, but there's some subtleties to this movement. One, I'm reaching down and reaching down. I'm not hiking up and hiking up. So reach down, reach down. Two, although this may seem like some kind of kriya or action movement associated with the arms, it is actually a massage for the internal organs here. So if you practice quietly, you might hear that.
No. I hear you breathing.
It's not my breathing.
Oh,
I'm holding my breath.
oh, wait.
That you might hear a weird sound. It's really literally the sound of possibly your lungs rubbing against each other. I'm not exactly sure.
Another challenge to kind of keep this isolated to just the torso. See if you can keep your head still. Tough, right? I mean,
This
I'm
sounds so weird.
doing it
It's like a
properly.
music video. Let's see if we can do it at the same time. Right shoulder.
Oh,
Then we're all.
all right,
Let's check
shake
it
it
out.
out.
Let's do the same thing with our heads now. It's a similar movement. I'm going to come up close so you can see what I'm doing, but you don't have to come to seated. So I'm going to take one ear to one shoulder. So look how my chin is. It's not coming down. It's sticking up, but just kind of staying in this line. Other ear to the other shoulder. Back and forth. Go slowly here because I've learned from experience, whipping the head around, not always easy on the neck. Just gently rocking.
No whiplash.
No whiplash. Gently rocking one ear and the other, side to side. And then while we're here, what else have we got standing that we could do for charana? We've done so many. I kind of lost.
Well, there's squatty stuff and there's.
Oh, I like that
If
spine
we can do that
line
laying
there.
down, so let's maybe do that.
Yeah,
All
we'll
the
save
lower
some
stuff
of
laying
these for
down.
laying down.
But you can do the squat stuff.
Let's do
and the
yoga
and the
squats.
torso stuff,
Well,
like
let's do
the swaying
Garuda
hollow
squats.
tree and all that.
Oh, yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
You want to
standing
do
up.
that after Garuda squats?
Sure.
All right, here I'm practicing with my hands in my pockets. So take a nice wide stance, something like this, like pretty wide, like you could be sideways on your mat, and the feet are at like a 9 or a 45-degree angle here, and my knees are tracking over my feet. So when I bend my knees, this is what it looks like. I'll show from the side real quick. What was that say? I'm sorry.
That was it. Say 45-degree.
All right, so let's come up to standing. So, but with this wide leg stance, knees are straight. Let's take the arms and inhale, squatting down. Ooh, let's just get a few of these. Exhale, standing up. We did squats yesterday. I had it yesterday. Inhale, squatting down. Exhale, standing up. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Next time you come down, stay down. Inhale down, exhale up. Is that the same? No. It's different, right? This is what we get for
I thought we were
our first-
inhaling down and exhaling up before. Now
All
we're
right, so
exhaling
let's
down.
exhale.
Inhale up.
Thank you. First
So we're
thing in
changing
the morning.
the breath ratio when we're doing what in relation to the motion. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Just trying it 2 different ways, seeing how that makes you feel. Does having the inhale on the squat feel different than having the exhale on the squat?
I don't know, obviously, for me. Because you got me turned around. And then when you're ready, come back up. Shake it off again. And what else do we have standing? We have sumo twists. Oh, you have the teeth swaying palm tree.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is a really good stretch for the side body, helping the body get long. Finding a nice, comfortable standing position. I like to stand with both feet parallel, about hips width distance. This is a nice, good standing posture. The alignment's nice, and it's
Let's take the arms out into it.
Arms out into a T. We're going to inhale and stretch to one side. Take the arms like you're grabbing a giant beach ball. Exhale back through center. Inhale, reaching to the other side like you're grabbing a giant beach ball. Exhale back through center. So just going side to side, inhaling as you bend, exhaling as you come back to center. I like to imagine that the body is actually lifting up and over. So we're not just tilting side to side, we're going up the spine and then tilting over at the top. So we're reaching long through both sides of the body. Even the side we're bending towards, we're still reaching long before tilting over. Breathing into the rib cage, expanding the upper body, the sides of the body, the oblique muscles of the abdomen.
Next time you come to that T, you the arms come down. Again, we're going to step the feet fairly wide. I'm going to show it from the side. I'm going to do something that we call sumo squats. So I've got, or sumo twist, I'm sorry. So we're going to come into a nice wide-legged squat. Not super wide, but make sure that your knees aren't coming out over your ankles. So something like this is kind of nice. And one subtlety I want to bring up about this squat, this isn't my squat. That's my squat. The tail hocks down, lengthening the low back. From here, I'm going to put my palms on my knees, fingers pointing in, so like that. And then from here, I'm going to inhale in the center and then gently twist to one side on the exhale. Inhale, come back to center, twist to the other side. Woo! On the exhale. Inhaling, twisting, exhaling, inhaling. Exhaling. We'll do a few more of these. Two more. Each side. And then when you're ready, just hang out here in the center. I'm going to turn my feet so that they're parallel. Feet are still wide. And then I'm keeping my knees bent. I'm going to interlace the fingers of both hands and fold forward. Now, if you've taken this class before, you've done this charana sequence with us before, you might be expecting chopping wood, which is inhaling the arms up, exhaling, folding, and making the sound ha.
Ha.
This can be a very quick movement, but I want to start off really slow so we can go over some subtleties of the movement for spinal health. So if you have any kind of issues with your spine, whether it's spinal stenosis, degenerative disc disease, anything at all that is making your spine think, what the hell is she going to do? This is going to kill me. That's why we're taking it slow. So keeping the knees nice and bent, already I'm keeping the low back happy here. From here, I'm going to inhale my way up to standing. And when I come up here, I'm going to get a slight back bend by tucking the tail and taking the arms a little bit behind my head. Then on the exhale, I bend the knees. Ha!
Ha.
The key is keeping the knees bent. You can see how my spine is kind of nice and long here as I do this. That's what we want to do. We don't want to crunch anything with this. So focus on the length of the spine as you do this movement. Inhaling up. Hips come slightly forward. Exhaling. Ha.
Ha.
Don't forget to keep the knees bent.
Ha. Ha.
Really, the only time I'm straightening the knees is when I come up There might even be a little bit of an action where as you first fold forward, you stick the tail out. You keep the knees bent.
Getting warm in here.
Yes, I'm sweating. My hair is wet. And then when you're ready, we'll just fold forward. We're gonna do one last thing for the spine here, and I'm gonna come a little closer to show you what that looks like. This is a spinal stretch. Feet are still parallel here. There you go. Like that. I'm gonna fold forward all the way. Knees can be bent here. I'm gonna take the heels of my hands right into the hip creases here. And then keeping myself folded forward like this. I'm gonna push into my thighs. Inhale the spine long. Exhale, release. So it's almost like a smaller version of what we were just doing. Inhaling, pushing down on my hands, keep the spine long. You might find the shoulders coming up by the ears here. That's okay. Exhaling.
Similar to what we were doing before, but now we're using the arms to help stretch and lengthen the spine, using the arms against the thighs. I should say the hands. The hands on the thigh.
And you're kind of using the structure of the arms too, though. There's a stacking of the arms.
This is the only time where we'll tell you that you can, sort of
Stack the arms rigidly.
stack the
I
arms.
mean, it's kind of like when you do plank a little bit too, and those arms are sort of stacked, shoulders right over wrists. So when you're ready, we'll shake it off. I think it's time for us to just come down and do the rest of these maybe on the ground.
Yep, I
Plus
can't
some
remember if there's any that we have
other
to be
strengtheners.
standing to do, but I don't think there is.
So let's come down through a squat, which is actually one of the charana movements as well. So yoga squat, for some people, this is very tough. And if that is the case for you, and you have some sort of cushion, block, pillow, or very large book,
Bolster.
feel free, bolster, yes, any kind of supportive element. Feel free to put it kind of where your butt would land. You come to a seat. Like that. So that's one option. Another option is you just don't have to come all the way down. You just hang out in your squat here. The third option is to come all the way down to your yoga squat. So I'll show that from the side. I am sticking my tail out a little as I come down, but that's only to keep a length in my low back. Because the key with squat is, again, not rounding into it, but really letting the heart shine here and keeping the spine nice and long.
One way we keep the spine long is by tucking the tailbone.
And you can use your elbows as leverage here. If your hands are in prayer, you can take the elbows to the insides of the knees and just gently press them back. Keep the heart open and keep the spine long. But you're really lifting from the spine here. We're not sinking into our squat. I'd say that's maybe the key for this one. And from here, we have that. We have necks and ankles, knees, and so hips. Anything else? Massage rooms to get that. So when you're ready, let's just sit back in a comfortable seat. You can take your legs out in front of you like this and just let the knees drop side to side. So knees are down here, yeah. Releasing any tension on the hips. And then if you have a blanket or something like that you want to sit on, a pillow, whatever you've got to elevate the hips a little bit off the ground, you can even sit on your block. Let's find a comfortable seat. It could be easy posture, cross-legged like this. It could be one foot in front of the other, an auspicious posture. I'll take my socks off so you can see my little pale feet. There you go. Or if you are comfortable doing this, you could do secret pose, asana, where you kind of sneak one foot back here right under the thigh and then kind of pull the other foot out from the center. The knees are tracking down towards the ground, the feet are tucked up. That's really cool feet. So from here, we're gonna do some neck things. You wanna do your, maybe we should come closer for this. You wanna do your world famous neck extravaganza?
Yeah.
I'll tuck this down a bit too. Next, our
Here we are. Ready to do our necks.
Next. There we go.
Sitting up nice and tall. We're going to take a deep inhale, nice long neck, relax shoulders. And on the exhale, we're going to take the chin, drop it to the chest. Now we're going to move a little side to side. So with the next inhale, we're going to roll the right ear towards the right shoulder.
I've seen this one maybe before.
Exhale, chin back to chest. Next inhale, we take the left ear over the left shoulder. Exhaling, chin back to chest. Again, right ear. Inhale it over the right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Left ear comes to the left shoulder on the next inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. Now, right ear to right shoulder. This time we're going to hang out here for a couple breaths. You can just hang like this. If you want a little extra stretch for the left side of the neck, you can take your right hand, gently place it on top of the head. We're not pulling the head. We're just giving a little extra resistance there. You should feel a little more stretch on the left side of the neck when you do that. If you want even more of a stretch there, you can reach that left arm away from the body. Also, I like to experiment with where I'm reaching. You can reach low, you can reach high. You can see which arm position gives you the most stretch. You can also experiment with flipping the palm up and down. See if that also, what that does to help open up this area here. Now we're going to leave the head where it is. You can take the arms back down, just relax them. Take a deep inhale into the left side of the neck. And then on an exhale, we'll take the chin to the chest. Next inhale, we take the left ear over the left shoulder. And the same options on this side. So again, you can just hang out here like this, breathing deep, or you can take your left hand and gently place it on top of the head. You can also take the right arm, try different arm, walk it away from the body, try different arm positions, different palm positions. Sometimes I like to kind of move it and it feels like it's like sort of milking the neck, stretching the neck as you like, especially as I flip palm one way to the other.
Ooh, yeah.
And it's like more stretching for the arm as well. So
Something for the sternocleidomastoid muscles. We can wrap around.
then we'll take the hands back down, leave the neck where it is. Take a deep inhale, breathing into the right side of the neck, and then exhale, chin to chest one more time. Oh, and while we're down here, let's interlace the fingers, put them on the back of the head. Try rolling the shoulders down, but keeping the torso, the middle of the body, as long as possible. So now we're getting like a stretch for the back of the neck.
And while our hands are here, I'm gonna, you let me know, camera can see what I'm doing, but I'm gonna turn around. Go hang out here for another second. And then keeping our hands the way they are, let's slide them down below the occiput. That's this bump at the back of the head. So that the heels of our hands are on either side of our neck here. So from here, now I'm actually going to milk neck muscles. Boy, are they tight. So it's just gentle massaging, woo, gentle squeezing. If you feel little shoots of energy going through your scalp as you do this, not a bad thing. I'm there with you. Little champagne bubbles of energy. Who knows? All right, I'm done derailing the train.
And now you can inhale the neck, the head back up. There we go. We got a nice loose neck now.
Yep.
Look,
So
I
loose.
turned me into a bobblehead.
Yeah, look, we can do this again. So there is another neck movement in 27 postures of charana as taught to us by our teacher, Tao Semko, that he didn't call it this, but I like to call it the Hellraiser. It's a subtle movement, so practice with subtlety, which means listen to your body. Feels weird, not looks weird, because it does look weird, but if it feels weird, be gentle with yourself. If anything hurts, don't do it. Instead, you can keep massaging the back of the neck or taking the hands and grabbing the upper trapezius. It's a muscle that goes from here to here and all on the back and everything. And what you would do is just kind of squeeze like this along the shoulders. So that's one option. If you would like to try the Hellraiser with us, this is what it looks like. You look twice to the right, twice to the left, twice up and to the right, twice up and to the left, and then twice straight back. And you go slow. Do not use momentum. No whiplash for anyone. So twice to the right, twice to the left, up to the right, up to the left, straight up. We'll do a few more of them. This movement is actually using the weight. There's a lot of water weight to this organ. It's using the weight of the brain to kind of massage the inside of the skull. Just go gentle here. If you hear a little bit of popping and cracking, not the end of the world, but
if your head falls off,
that's the end of the
stop.
world. All right, when we go back to center, our necks are cooked. Let's do one thing while we're nice and close and you can see what we're doing. I'm going to do a heart massage too. Another movement from Tao Semko's charana that is really very wonderful. So find the area where the ribs, where the bottom of the ribs are, and then follow that up to the center. It's the bottom of the sternum here. There. I can poke into it a little bit, but I don't recommend that. So taking the pads of the fingers, we're gonna press into that area. You can use just 3 or 2 fingers or the middle 2 fingers, whatever you want. We're gonna press into that area and then gently draw little circles. So very, very simple movement. Even though our heart is up here, this is kind of the region of the heart. We call this a heart massage. Technically, it's inside the process massage, but it's also a massage of where the practice of abdominis attaches or originates. I'm not sure which. So if you have a tight belly, let's reach out. You're a fighter. You really guard your heart. This is a really nice movement. Kind of open it back up because you can have all the strength in the world, but strength is really measured by looseness and slackness. You don't want to just keep the muscle engaged. You want to also be able to loosen that. When you're ready, we'll switch direction, taking those little circles the other way. Listen here. Tell me, tell you it's time for breakfast or lunch or dinner. That's the case. Or second breakfast.
Taking breakfast.
Or 11 All right, and then what we got? We got legs.
Yeah.
Let's do some legs. All right, so we'll go back to our mats for these. Legs. If we just do charana in this class, there are worse things in the world. So we're kind of going to get into some core stuff, I think, straight from these rotational movements. So make sure you have what you need to be comfortable nearby, whether it's folding a blanket or a blocker, that stuff. So we'll come all the way, you know what, I'm going to turn my mat so that it's sideways to you. And
I'll turn some straight on. No.
Yeah. So you can show it that angle. Yes.
Yeah, show it 2 different angles.
So from here I am on my back. I want to, of all things, warm up my ankles. So I have a few options here. I can either bring my knees right into my chest like this, or if if I want to work on a little subtle core strengthener while lubricating the ankle joints, I can take my knees into this double right angle shape. So my knees are right over my hips and my ankles come straight out from my knees. From here, I'm going to draw the knees together and then start drawing circles on the wall across from me with my toes. So I'm doing an ankle rotation, but there's a subtle activation of the core muscles. That's the rectus abdominis, transverse abdominis, maybe even the oblique muscles on the sides of the core, external and internal. We got it all. This is a one-stop shop for bellies. And when you're ready, we'll switch the direction, going the other way, drawing the circles the other way. Hands can rest on the belly if you like, or if you prefer. You can actually rest them behind the head or lift the head to engage upper abdomen if you want. If that's the case, use the upper abdomen to lift your head, not your neck, and definitely not your head. And when you're ready, we'll draw the knees in towards the chest and just gently rock side to side, releasing any tension in the low back.
Yep. So knees. We're going to come back to that same position again.
Which again could be knees in towards the chest.
And then this time we're going to take both feet together, like we're drawing a giant zero on the wall. So we're keeping the knees together as best as we can, and just taking the feet like we're drawing. So this will engage. This will require a little bit more core engagement than that last exercise, obviously.
And obviously, if you want even more core engagement, do the same thing with the upper abdomen as in the last exercise. You lift the head off the ground using the core.
And then switch the direction that you're drawing that circle. And let's bring the knees, let's actually bring the feet to the earth, knees up. And then just let's let the knees rock side to side. This is releasing tension in the low back. Ooh.
And then from here, next time knees come up to center, this time we are going to interlace the fingers of both hands and cup the back of the head, lifting the head just slightly off the ground, really using, again, the upper abdominal muscles to do this. Let's draw the knees in towards the chest, take them out wide away from each other, bring them down and then back in. So it's like we're drawing circles on the ceiling with our bent knees here.
2 circles now.
2 mirrored circles. Like there's a mirror right through the middle of my body. And then when you're ready, next time knees come in towards the chest, this time keep the knees together, bring them down, then open them, then bring them back up. So we're switching directions here. If you need to bring your head down at any point, you can, or you can keep using the upper abdomen to lift the head and neck off of the ground. Right. Then when you're ready, we'll draw the knees in towards the chest again. Rocking side to side. Is that all the charana?
I think so. I can't
think we
think
did.
of any other
Well, in that case, let's do some nice
stuff.
while we're here. Let's do a little nice hip opener kind of thing.
Okay.
So feet can come to just stand on the ground. And actually, before we do that, let's do bridge. How's that sound?
Oh, that's great.
All right, so this is kind of nice that you get to see it from my angle and from Brian's, because bridge, there's a few subtleties to this. So the first is the foundation, the setup for this. You really want your heels so close to your hips that you can almost touch, or you can touch the backs of the heels with the tips of your longest finger, your middle finger maybe. But if your torso is long like mine, you'll see that my knees are actually jutting out past my ankles. So I'm actually gonna walk the ankles out just a little bit so I can make sure the ankles are right under the knees. But for most people, your heels will be very close to your hips. From here, I personally like to turn my heels out a little bit. And the reason why Brian will show you with his knees is as you inhale the hips up like this, you don't want the knees to be splaying out to the side like that. You really want to keep the knees tracking towards each other. There are a few different ways that you can do this. I'm going to show with Brian here since he's facing you. If you have a block-like object, that way, that's a little close.
Yeah, I think for me,
Yeah.
that's kind of the best.
Yeah, I've got a little extra knee. So, so I'm going to go the other way. So inhale your hips up. So see how that block hasn't really moved. It hasn't dropped down and bashed him in the hips or anything like that. Like that's what we're aiming for here. And your feet could actually be perfect. All right. And yes, that looks great. All right, so that's what we're aiming for. Let's just do a few of these inhaling the hips up.
The block's nice because it keeps you engaging the knees, keeps you from having them go out to the side and
so we're
keep your
timing
knees
this
aligned.
totally, and we're timing this with our breath. So let's inhale, the hips come up, and then exhale, the hips come down. We're just gonna do a few of these before we hold the posture. Now, next time you come up, hold this posture, find your greatest expression of it. And one thing, if you want, you can roll one shoulder and then the other under your back, interlace the fingers of both hands and let them rest on the mat a few inches below the hips. So we're really kind of pushing into our feet, pushing into our shoulders and lifting through the hips here to build some strength. And when you're ready, we'll roll down vertebra by vertebra, bringing the hips back towards the ground. You know, I feel like, and you can bring your knees in towards your chest and rock side to side, anything you need to do to kind of stretch out here. I do feel like there's one charana movement I forgot, and that's that downward stretch, which is like psoas overnight. So maybe we'll do something like that. Okay. In a second.
Oh, right. Yes. Yes, we did. We can do that on our back.
Oh, we have 11 minutes left. Yes, we can do that on our backs.
Or we could do here.
We'll see. Let's do figure 4 while we're here. So figure 4, I'm bringing the sole of my left foot to the ground. I'm taking my right ankle and crossing it over my left knee. Now you see my right knee here is really sticking towards my chest. I want to energetically push it away from my chest so I can keep my right shin parallel to the ground. As I lift the left foot, slide the hands underneath the left thigh, and then draw the left thigh towards me. You can use a strap for this too, putting a strap behind the left thigh and drawing that strap towards you so that the left knee comes towards the chest, and you might be finding the right knee is coming way towards the chest too, in which case, push that right knee away from the chest with your thigh muscles. And if you really want to take it a little deeper, you keep that left hand under the left knee, take the right hand out, and then just gently rest the right hand on the inside of the right thigh. And use that as a force of resistance as you draw that left knee towards you. So a deep stretch for the back of the right hip, and kind of for the left hip too. Really. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply. And then when you're ready, we'll take the legs, switch them. So now my sole of my right foot's on the ground, left ankle crosses over the right knee. Energetically already pushing the left knee away from me. Keep the left shin parallel to the ground. Lift my right foot, join my right knee in towards my chest. And I'm going to interlace the fingers of both hands behind the right knee. So my left hand is going through that hole between my thighs here. And draw. Woo! This is tough today. Draw that right knee in towards the chest. If you want to go a little bit deeper with keeping that left knee going away from the chest, you can release the grip so that your right hand stays behind your right knee, your left hand is loose, and you can just rest the left hand against the inside of the thigh here. So that as the right knee comes towards you, there's a little resistance on the inside of the left thigh, keeping that left knee pushed away. I think for the belly stretch, I'd like to be on the belly. So we did a little bit of the psoas stretch when, yes, definitely. We did a little bit of the psoas stretch when we did bridge. Actually, yes, we did a little bit of the psoas stretch when we did bridge. So the psoas is a muscle that starts at the low back and kind of twists around and comes to the thigh. And it's responsible for movements like this, like walking, bending the knees and bringing them towards the chest, and sitting, everything basically. So what we're going to do is roll around onto our bellies here. And we're going to do a little something to stretch the psoas. So laying here on my belly, I'm going to prop up on my elbows first in Sphinx. Just see what Sphinx feels like first off, just because it's great. And the key here is really that my spine is long. So I'm not slumping into my shoulders, but I'm keeping my neck nice and long. Tail is a little bit tucked here, so I'm not sticking my booty up into the air, but actually kind of pressing it into the ground a bit. And then from here, I'm going to take my left hand and kind of tilt it in towards the center for support, like that. I'm going to take my right hand back and grab my right foot. If you need to use a strap, wind the strap around the right ankle and pull the strap to draw the right ankle towards your hip. If you don't need to use a strap, just draw that right foot towards your hip, and you might even find your palm resting on top of the right foot that you can turn your fingers towards you and stick your elbow up like this. This is a very deep stretch for the quadricep, that's the thigh muscle, but it's also a gentle stretch for the psoas muscle, that muscle that kind of acts as like this iron bar, drawing the low back and the thighs together. If you find you have a lot of low back pain, sometimes that has to do with the psoas muscle. I'll lengthen it out here. And when we're ready, we'll release and come all the way down, placing one hand on top of the other, resting the hip side, and just letting the hips rock side to side. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So again, coming back up to Sphinx. This time I'm going to turn my right arm in for stability. And here, I'll turn around so you can see what's happening here. Sorry. Turn my right arm in. I'm going to reach my left arm back and grab the ankle, or use a strap to grab the ankle. Draw the ankle towards the right hip. Legs are fairly close together here. And then if it's easy for you, turn the hand around. Sticking up. Nice quad stretch, and so is open there. The left side. Anything else you want to do before Shavasana?
That's the way to do it.
You did a lot of twisting today.
Yeah, we did. So I think we can just come right into Shavasana.
Yeah, maybe a happy baby.
Oh yeah, that would be.
All right. And then you can release. Again, roll back onto your back. I want to teach happy baby.
Yep, so we're setting up for final relaxation here. If you want to go straight into it, go for it. If you already know it. If you want to grab a quick happy baby before we come into final relaxation, You're gonna bend the knees, flatten out the feet like we're trying to stand on the ceiling. We're trying to bring the knees in towards us, and then you can grab the feet with the hands. You can grab them on the outside of the feet like this, or you can even grab them on the inside of the feet. I like to sometimes do it this way and then press down. A nice opening. But however you like to do it is fine. Also, some people like to rock side to side when they do this. Some people like to straighten the leg that they're rocking towards. If they're doing the rocking thing, you can do that as well.
Some people
Try
like
to
to,
straighten both legs.
some people like to gurgle and make noises of pleasure like a happy baby. Probably not. I don't hear about that a lot.
But anyway, feel free to get as much of a happy baby as you want in whatever variation that you want it. And whenever you're ready, no hurry to get there. We're going to finally come into final relaxation. The feet will come towards the corners of the mat, and then just let them relax and flop out to the side. Arms come down alongside of the body, turning the palms face up. So maybe about, I don't know, like a foot. Arms are maybe about a foot away from the body. So you can try slightly tucking the tailbones. You can even take the hips up a little bit, just so you have a nice long back here. You can bring the chest up slightly an inch off the mat, so you roll the shoulder blades towards each other, shoulders down and back. There's a slight tuck of the chin as well, so that if you open up your eyes, you should be looking straight up and not off behind you, sort of, and not down towards your feet, but straight up into the air. And that's it. We just relax, release any controlled breathing. Let all the practice integrate into the body. And just be here in the moment, letting it all sink in.
If you're ready, you can bring some life back to the fingers and toes, maybe wiggling the fingers and toes, maybe rolling the wrists and ankles a little bit. Then we can draw the legs together, draw the arms long overhead, stretching your full length from toes to fingertips. And let's draw the knees in towards the body again, rocking side to side, releasing any pressure on the low back. At some point, you can rock over to rest on one side or the other. in the fetal position. And then when you're ready, we'll push into one hand, then the other. Come back up to seated, maybe taking the time to sit up on a pillow or a folded up blanket or a bolster or something to elevate your hips a little bit. Up the knees. We'll do a couple rounds of prana mudra, the gesture of life force. Seal this practice and chant Om for good measure. So inhaling the arms out wide and up, maybe leaning forward a little bit. Exhale, push down, maybe rounding the spine a little bit as you push down. Inhale and lean forward, up, arms wide. Exhale, pushing down. Last time, we'll inhale the arms wide and up. Join the palms together. Exhale the palms down in front of the heart. And inhale deeply. Introduce the palms. Lightly through the honors,